for this one.
You've been compared to Russell Crowe as Maximus in the Gladiator film. Are you a footballing gladiator?
Yeah, top actor. Aussie, fellow Aussie. Yeah, look, I genuinely believe that. I think, there's a big part of our game that is about, maybe entertainment's the wrong word, but, you go to the game, a game of football for, to kind of feel emotions that, maybe in your day-to-day existence you don't get the opportunity to, both, exhilarating and both anxious. And I think that's what we love about it.
I really have to give them credits because if I look at Tottenham, and I come from Holland, but I did watch a lot of Match of the Day, and I think about Ginola, Paul Gascoigne, Glenn Hoddle, and Reece and Modric. For me, Rafael van der Vaart, Gareth Bale. They've always been a certain brand in football for me, and a certain identity, and I think Postecoglou gives them that identity back completely. So it's every time a joy to watch them.
Postecoglou is so good for a quote. They asked him who has a tougher job, himself or Keir Starmer, and he said, well, he only has an election once every 5 years. I got one every week, man. Yeah, I mean, Spurs fans are the emotions. They winter wonderlanding right now. They're on the roller coaster,
It's a Spurs fan right now. I couldn't think of anything worse. For the neutral, they are an amazing team to watch.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing, because it's almost, it's not organised carnage, it's carnage. It's pure carnage. You know you're guaranteed goals, whether it's for or against. You're going to see some really bad mistakes. You're going to be entertained. Are you not entertained? That's what Angie's saying.
Yeah.
But you don't want that as a Spurs fan, especially off the back of the type of football they've seen over the years with Conte, Mourinho's, and Nuno, etc. You want the carnage, but you want it to be a little bit more organised, a bit like Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp. There's a carnage there. It's enduring. You love watching it. You want to enjoy watching it, but
I think it's just inherent to who Spurs are. I think the one thing they've always wanted is stability. But with where they are at the moment, you just don't get it. Like, you score some great goals, and then you give Palace and Ipswich their first wins of the season, or you never draw as well. It's either win or loss. There's never any balance in anything they do, and I think this game against Liverpool is a prime example of what they're going to be, because they probably will score goals, but they'll definitely concede goals as well.
19 in the last 3 domestic games, for and against, for Spurs.
It's incredible.
It is insane, and that's why we're talking about that emotional roller coaster. And as you mentioned, there's no draws, there's no middle ground. It's just high or low, done. And think about the League Cup as well. And they were leading 3-0.
To be leading and then to let the opposition back in that fashion is... So Spurs, they're probably just numb to it now. They probably expect that if we score 2 goals, we will concede at some point. Chelsea did it to them. They've done it a few times this season. But I think in the back of their minds, Andrew's very chirpy in his press conference. I think in his mind, he knows that he came out and said, in my second season, I'll win something. That's given him the opportunity to potentially do that there. In the league, it's here and there, but he knows in the back of his head, if I can try and get one of these cups over the line and change the narrative of us being winners, at least I've fulfilled something. But again, in them sort of games, if you're conceding goals like that...
Yeah. And the thing is that Spurs versus Liverpool is always chaos. There's always drama. Last year was the last season was the Luis Diaz VAR. Yeah, I did my first live studio, and what is the build up? It's the VAR audio being released of this, talked about being thrown in the deep end, because they released the audio of that and the offside and just the chaos involved. And it's got to be Spurs-Liverpool, isn't it? This game's always drama.
There's always drama. I feel for him as well, because that was a great goal. Really, really well taken. But it's the fixture. I think the last time one team kept a clean sheet in this fixture was 4 years ago or something outrageous. It's the stats are bonkers, genuinely. You're guaranteed to see goals. You've got 2 brilliant attacking footballing sides. And usually the attackers score. There's not really much to say on the game. On the fixture, sorry. I'm looking forward to it. I really am.
Yeah, look at that, the own goal as well. Always produce drama. As one, Liverpool have lost only 2 of their last 23 Premier League games against Spurs. So even though it gives us drama, there is a consistency for Liverpool.
There is a consistency, and I think in general, Liverpool fans will probably say at the moment it's been quite interesting. They've not been as swashbuckling and flying as they were at some parts of the season, but they are getting results. If they are goal down, they have faith that Mo Salah or someone will come and give them a goal. Jota being back for them is amazing at this time of year, absolutely amazing. And I think in their heads, they know that they're more likely to concede less than Spurs. So already you're going into this game thinking, well, we can probably win if that's the approach, right? But it'll be interesting to
shootout you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is another one. But what I am intrigued is to see Spurs did against City where they adjusted slightly. They played a bit of a lower block, and it was the first time I saw Ange do something that was a bit different from the norm. Can they implement something like that against Liverpool? Can they nullify the attack? And if they try to, it actually might make the game a bit more interesting.
But what would be interesting is if Spurs do decide to drop, Mo's going to get the ball to feet, which is where he wants it.
Yeah.
Luis Diaz is going to get the ball to feet where he wants it. And then they're driving at the Spurs fullbacks who, in my opinion, are nowhere near good enough to deal with that threat. So, again, that might play into their strengths. Could be a manager.
Are they having a bit of a confidence issue, do you think? Because, you know, the drop points against Fulham, drop points in the game before that as well, Liverpool. And would that be playing on their minds at all? And to add to that, this defensive solidity that the early part of the season was built on seems to be crumbling a little bit now.
I don't think it's a lack of confidence at all, based on the attacking threat that they possess. Mistakes will always happen in games.
Yeah.
And but it's how you deal with those mistakes. And we're talking about a Liverpool side who have lost 1 game in the Premier League all season.
Yeah.
You know, that stat in itself at this stage of the season is phenomenal. I'm not concerned or worried about Liverpool losing. I think it actually shows great character, them being able to come from behind, knowing that they trust Mo Salah and Jota and Luis Diaz. And they've got so many fantastic football players that are lethal. And Núñez, as we saw briefly there as well. I don't think they're concerned or worried in the slightest.
So you don't think going into this game, any of that there'll be a little bit of dip of confidence,
no.
okay?
I think the same. I think, as you've just rightly said, they know that when not winning, we have the potential to. We've got match winners everywhere. We've got players of quality that can make something happen. We've got players that have X factor. So they will be confident that, and again, they're playing the team that they know concede goals. So already that psychological boost of we're definitely getting a few here today is already in the mind. So I think they'll be up for this game.
Yeah, and I mean, we're going to get to Chelsea in a little bit, but by the time they play, Chelsea could have leapfrogged them.
And I wouldn't put it past Chelsea, especially the run they've been on recently. They are the informed team of the season. And the back end of last season, the beginning of this season, I did not think that was going to be possible with those players that Maresca's got in, or with Maresca at the helm.
Yeah, you're probably not alone either.
No.
Yeah.
I've got my 2 mates with me.
No, none of us saw it coming, but they're doing obviously fantastically well, and so that's another dynamic, because then Liverpool will likely, if Chelsea do the business, have dropped. But, you know, it's all set up. The movies are there, the shootout, the fly.